Y'all, it is a great time. It is a great time to be a Pixel fan because holy crap, the 4A, the 4A 5G, and now the 5, whew, some exceptional level devices. What's up everybody, this is Scott. Welcome back to another video. Today's video I'm very excited about because it is the battle of the 4A and the Pixel 5. The 4A versus the 5. Yeah, everybody's like, well, what could possibly be updated in all of this because the 4A just came out, blah, 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 blah. Look, let's get past the fact that it was a pandemic and let's just love the fact that no matter the price point that you're looking to get into, you're getting a banger of a phone, and I'm going to tell you why in this video. Just watch it and just look how good both are and which one you should probably either buy or upgrade to. Well, this video is going to make it tough. This is the Pixel 5 that you see right here, and this is the 4A, which you see right here. Both of them are basically the same exact footprint, but there has been some enhancements and upgrades with the Pixel 5 that you don't necessarily have in the Pixel 4A. Now, I'm going to show you everything like I do in all of this. This is the front-facing camera, 1080p, 30 frames a second, of course. At least that's exactly what I'm thinking that it is. There's some differences in the rear camera when it comes to the 5. So for the first time ever in a Pixel device, you have the ability to do 4K 60 frames a second. So when I flip this to the rear, you're going to see the fact that the 5 can actually do 4K 60 frames a second, whereas the 4A over there can't do that. It can do 4K 30 frames a second. I am super excited. If you watched some of my videos in the previous couple weeks ago, I talked about how amazing I thought the fact that the audio and the video in the 4A has gotten better. You can see right now that it is actually significantly better. I have tried to maximize this as best I can, so apologies if I cut in and out of screen on both of these. This is what you can expect from a stabilization perspective in the 4A and the Pixel 5. Just looking at it on screen right now, you can see I think it looks exceptional for both. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Does the stabilization on the front look as good in the 5 as it does the 4? Right here you can see I am filming in the Pixel 5 4K 60 frames a second, whereas I can only film in 30 frames a second on the 4A. I'll be honest with you, it looks super smooth. I'm gonna walk a little bit so you can see I'm walking in the grass, so you can see there's a line that I'm trying to follow. So from this perspective, man, the 5 looks exceptional when it comes to the way that the stabilization works. Now, what I'm gonna do is flip to 1080p in the 4A and then film that in 60 frames a second. So let me go ahead and flip both to 1080p, 60 frames a second. Now, this is both 1080p, 60 frames a second for the 4A and the 5. So like I said before, you could see that the 4A had been the ability to do the 60 frames a second at the 1080p, whereas the 5 can do 4K 60 frames a second. But the way I'm looking at stuff right now, stabilization is crazy on the 5. Like, you look at the trees, I'm walking about an arm's width away. Those trees don't feel like they're moving at all, whereas it's not bad in the 4A. It's just the 5 barely looks like it's moving. So the stabilization is insanity on the Pixel 5. So you might be asking, what's another one of the big differences? Actually, one of the big differences in the 5 is the fact that you now have the ability to have a wider video and a wider photo on the rear facing camera. So that's right, everything that everybody knocked the Pixel 4 XL and the Pixel 4a for not having a wide angle on the rear of the camera, well, in the Pixel 5 you actually have a wide shooter on the back. So let me show you some of these next shots from a picture perspective, and so you can see exactly what it looks like from the 4A perspective and then how wide I can get with the 5. about some of the difference in the tech specs between the 4A and the 5 in terms of cameras. Well, obviously you have two lenses on the back of the 5, and now you have that wide view that you had before, and I'll show some shots if I haven't already shown some of them about how wide that thing actually gets. And you have a single lens shooter on the front and the back of the 4A. You have 4K 60 and the ability on the 5 to do that, but only 4K 30. You can see the stabilization that I've either shown or I'm about to show about how good the stabilization is on the 5. And that doesn't mean that the 4A is a slouch by any stretch of the imagination. It just means even the enhancement from the 4A to the 5, it is not just like a small incremental update. They have made some substantial things, but the cool thing is, because Google is a software-based type of, but the cool thing is, because Google cares so much about the software, a lot of the things that you're going to be getting in the 5 is definitely going to be coming to the 4A or the 4A 5G, but holy crap, the Pixel 5 is exceptional, and that means that you have a great opportunity to get really good photos and videos in the 4A at a $350 price point, but also from a mid-tier price point. You can be right up there with the flagships and the big boys and save some coin in your pocket if you were to go with something like the Pixel 5. So now that you've seen some of the outside stuff, let's come back in studio and talk about what you're kind of seeing here inside. Inside the studio, I'm using a big light over here to get Rembrandt lighting as my friend, the original Dobo, and I will leave a link either up here or down here to Dobo's channel, because he is the one that's really helped me with my lighting. But to be completely honest, when I'm back in studio and just kind of looking at the two screens, what I'm seeing out of the Pixel 5, I really, really like. It doesn't mean that the Pixel 4A is any slouch or anything like that. It just means I really enjoy seeing what I've seen so far. Again, directly out of the camera app, no crazy third-party apps or anything like that. It's the native app. Everything that you see really picks up my beard really nicely in both. I love the color in the Pixel 5 because you can see some of the reds here in my shirt. It's picked up. It's not too far off in the 4A by any stretch of the imagination. So what you're seeing right now is this exceptional usage, 1080p, 30 frames a second. You've seen some of the outside stuff as well. So at the end of the day, which one should you buy? Well, considering the price point of the 4A, 4A is $350. That is a darn good price for as much as you get. You've seen my videos before. You're getting exceptional battery life. You're getting arguably the best overall camera setup between video and photos, in my personal opinion. You definitely get the best portrait from that perspective as well. But now when you have the Pixel 5 has increased what I already thought was a pretty substantial jump in the video from the Pixel 4 to the 4A. You're getting a substantial jump in the video, 4K 60 frames a second, world-class stabilization, as well as now still the same portrait mode and two cameras on the back in the Pixel 5. Now from the price point perspective, is it really worth to go double then some on the 4A? That really depends. Like if you're a person who has no trouble spending that type of cash, then it's definitely lesser than you're getting in your $1,000 plus iPhones or Samsungs or anything like that. So you cannot go wrong. You're going to get flagship level results without flagship level prices. Now the 4A is the best, hands down the best budget device in 2020 in my personal opinion. There is no question at $350 the 4A is something that you should buy. But man, the Pixel 5 is incredible. You saw the shots from outside, you saw how good the audio was, you saw how good the stabilization was. I thought the dynamic range had gotten a lot better than previous versions. It's arguably right up there in terms of what the flagships are getting you, and it's saving you some coins. So yeah, I would have a hard time choosing between the 4A or the 5. I do a lot of video content, so from that perspective, the 5 really is the one that I would choose. But if I didn't do videos, it is hands down the 4A all day long, because, I mean, 5G really isn't the deciding factor, let's be honest here. The 5G is still not quite mature enough for that to be a deciding factor in phones. Battery life on the 5 and the 4A is remarkably close. I'm getting anywhere between 4 and 7 hours of screen on time with both devices. So it's good battery life in both, Better video in the 5, but that doesn't mean the 4 is any bad. Great photos out of both. I love the overall experience from a clean pixel perspective. You cannot go wrong with either. So that's it. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. And as always, like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, leave a comment below, and we will see you next time.